YouTube, and welcome to another one of my videos. Today we are in the hay fields doing my very first ever square baling of my very own hay. So this is going to be my first time ever baling hay with a square baler, and it's also my first time ever pulling a hay harvest out of these pastures. So this spring I fertilized, I sprayed, and now we get to reap the benefits of my very first cutting. It is now June, and I was hoping to have cut my hay last week, but because of rains it pushed me to this week, and now we're trying to beat the rains. We actually have rain coming in the forecast tonight or possibly in the morning, so I don't want to have to rake again, and everything's dry. So come with me to run my square baler for the very first time. We are at 116 bales with 0 lost. I do want to take a quick second to talk about my new square baler. Obviously it's not new, it is used. I bought this Hesston baler on auction. I had to drive to Iowa to pick it up, and lucky for me, the guy who owned it before me, I kind of was chatting to him. I told him that I've never used one before, I've never operated it, and he said, hey, how about we bust open some round bales and I'll show you how to operate it and also how to make adjustments on it. And I honestly, it was worth purchasing the machine just to meet this man that sold it to me. It was a great opportunity to learn from someone who has been working with the machine since he bought it brand new. He's obviously upgrading, but this machine is still working great, and it's going to be perfect for what I need it for. I'm going to be doing less than 200 acres of square bales a year, so I don't need a commercial size setup, and this machine is going to be perfect. The thing that I was looking for when I bought a square baler was I wanted inline for a few different things, mostly just what people have been telling me and personal preference. I want something that just runs straight behind my machine rather than like the conventional square balers that kick off to the side. I've also heard that inline balers have less mechanic issues just because the drive mechanisms are less complicated. So fingers crossed for less breakdowns, less maintenance. Well, maybe not less maintenance, but hopefully a lot less breakdowns. And so I ended up with this Hesston. I'm very happy so far. I'm about 10 acres in, and I've only bogged it down twice, so not too bad. And both times I bogged it down, the grass was a little too wet and I hit some clumps. So let's get things moving. Everything seems to be adjusted pretty well on the machine. Let's get going. And I'm off to the races at a whopping 1.1 mile an hour. I'm running things pretty slow just because my windrows do have some clumps, and I'm a little nervous about slugging down the machine. I'm trying to feed a nice even amount of hay through the baler. If you can see the baler behind me, you can see that I slugged the machine, so time to fix that. got that fixed. Let's get back at it. Right now I'm getting the end of a windrow, so I'm going to stop my PTO, pick up my machine, and then recenter myself on to my next windrow, especially as I'm just a rookie at this. I'll stop my PTO and I will lift up the wheels, and then I will position myself on to the next windrow. I'm doing it, I'm farming. I'm gonna hop out and inspect some of the bales that I just did. The reason I'm doing this is I kind of want to check the weight of the bales, the quality of the knots, and then the tension on the two baler twines. I want to make sure I have even tension on both of those. So I'm going to hop out and show you what we're working with. All right, so this is my bale. These are the knots. Those look pretty good to me. The next thing I want to test is the tension. This one, let me see. Let me lift it up. So it is the perfect weight. I'm shooting for 55 to 60 pounds, but this is definitely a lot tighter. So let's go adjust my machine. So on the baler, you can adjust the tension. Since it's this side that needs to be a little tighter, I'm going to turn this half a turn counterclockwise. So we'll go ahead and start doing some more bales, and then I'll get out and check it again on my next windrow. If you can see out my back window, you might notice that there are some places that I am avoiding, that I'm not collecting the hay and putting it into my square baler, and that's because I already know those areas of the field were weedy, so I don't want to pick up any of those weeds. Next year, well actually probably this fall, I'm going to overseed these fields to hopefully beat out the weeds next year. All of this hay that I'm leaving in the field, I'll come out with a skid steer and a grapple and I'll dispose of that, whether it be in compost or just throw it in a wash out. That way it's not sitting. Because fingers crossed, I'll get another cutting if the rains continue. Alrighty, I am sitting in the field. This 6-acre piece did about 440 bales, which is really great compared to last year during the drought. So very excited for these yields, this tonnage that this field that I'm sitting in produced. I'm very excited to have my own equipment this year, so that way I can bale my own hay. Square bales are very labor intensive, but it is necessary because I have a lot of horses, so weighing the hay that my horses consume daily pretty much can only be done by using square bales. So the square bales that I have now, I will get tested through a lab for protein and that sort of stuff, and if they pass the test for what my equine nutritionist suggests, I will use my own hay. But if not, I will sell it and then I'll purchase hay that is the quality that I want. So that's kind of the nice thing about doing my own hay, is getting ahead of the kind of hay rush of purchasing. I can have mine tested and know if what I have is what I need. Fingers crossed, this hay will be what sustains my horses through the next year. So thank you so much for watching this YouTube video. Hopefully in the next one, my voice will be back. And I hope you learned something. I hope you were entertained. And day one of baling my own hay complete. Bye.